and join our newsletter. So with that, let's move on to our third story, which is Real Housewives of Potomac Michael Darby files lawsuit against Candiace Dillard for $2 million over a sex claim on show and accuses her of defamation. That's what I was trying to tell Gordon. You need to go back and say that what Mia said wasn't true, because you can't be out here saying people are having sex and doing this, that, and the third just willy-nilly without any proof or receipts, because you'll get sued. And Michael Darby, he's on one and he's coming after Candiace. All right, you guys, let's get into it. It says Michael Darby is suing Candiace Dillard for defamation. After Candiace told, and this is a reality blurb. After Candiace told Ashley Darby on The Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 that her estranged husband, Michael, had allegedly offered to pay another man for oral sex, Michael filed a $2 million lawsuit against her, accusing her of defamation. According to court documents obtained by TMZ on March 2nd, Candiace made the claims against Michael amid her season 7 feud with Ashley. She says, quote, and you guys, I have the video too. So we're gonna watch the video too, okay? So we'll go through the article and then we'll watch the video. Okay. Ashley says, she said, quote, Ashley, your husband likes to leave you and go to a man named Blank's house and suck his blank, she told Ashley as cameras rolled. Then during another scene, Candiace suggested that Michael was paying for sex. Candiace further opened up about the situation in a cast confessional, saying, quote, I was not supposed to talk about this person, but he says that Michael Darby is a client of his. That's where you get your A, because I was holding on to that. You wanted the smoke, so here, she told the cameras. As Real Housewives of Potomac fans will recall, Candiace's claims against Ashley's husband came in retaliation against the allegations Ashley had made about Candiace's husband, Chris Bassett, who she accused of sending supposedly inappropriate late-night DMs and flirting with her friend. 100%. Following the drama of the season, Candiace appeared on an episode of Watch What Happens Live, where she confirmed she and Ashley are no longer speaking. I think after the reunion, I'm just done. No thank you, she stated. Although Michael attempted to silence Candiace earlier this year by firing off a letter of cease and desist, Candiace has yet to offer an apology to him or take back any of the statements she made. Candiace has not responded to the suit. Okay, well, wow. Seems like the suit was filed March 1st. Today is the 2nd, March 2nd. So she probably has like 30 days to respond. Now, if you need a refresher of what Candiace said, I have the video, okay? So we're going to watch it. But first, oh my gosh. This is the thing. When Candiace made the allegation, I'm not going to lie, I totally believed it because Ashley didn't really even seem to deny it. You know what I mean? So I did believe it, but I feel Michael Darby would not sue for defamation unless he knew he could win. So I don't know if that means it didn't happen and it really was just a rumor that Candiace was repeating and spreading, or if he knows that witnesses would not come forward, people have been paid off. I don't know. But I also don't know why Candiace didn't heed to the, cease and desist or, whatever it was that he had against her prior to filing the suit. It's like, was going after Ashley worth it? Was it worth it? And the thing with Ashley and Candiace is they love going tit for tat with each other. They both were like, oh, you talked about my man, I'm talking about your man. You talk about my man, I'm talking about you, blah, 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 blah. When at the end of the day, I think Candiace actually really wants to be friends with Ashley, but I don't think Ashley really cares that much for Candiace, if that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. Put it down below. But let's watch the video because this will refresh our memory of what Candiace said, okay? All right, here we go.
I've also heard that Chris has been in some other DMs that are not quite as innocuous and innocent as mine.
Ashley, your
Just
husband
so you know,
likes to leave you,
do you wanna
and go to a man named house and suck his dick.
Oh.
I'm not joking.
Are you veering off the path?
So let's not.
Is this deflection?
Because Chris ain't
Are you
sucking no dick.
deflecting?
I'm sick to my stomach. We sucking the We can't do that.
No.
I was not supposed to talk about this person, but he says Michael Darby is a client of his. That's what your ass get, because I was holding on to that. You wanted smoke. So, here.
You need to watch what you say.
I know what I said.
You're making
Oh,
up.
I'm not.
Can we burn
You
it?
see,
Next
this is
caller.
the problem.
I'm done.
I hear everything about Michael. I processed, I deal. You're not hearing.
Because you come from
He's done.
a
Let's burn it.
decrepit, disrespectful marriage.
Just remember, the pendulum
where
always
you
swings
all-
the other way.
Oh,
okay?
no, honey. We don't have that over here. We know the Lord. So over here, we don't do that.
Hey, I appreciate you, ladies.
Yes. Thank you for having us, Wendy.
Thank you.
I think so. That's it.
I'll-
That's it.
I mean,
No, Wendy,
this-
me and we don't
this
need
is
nothing
too
else. Let's
much.
get up. I'm good.
I'm gonna get out.
Oof, you guys, it's a mess. It's a mess. But my question is this. I get that Michael Darby is suing, but I wonder if Chris Bassett could also sue. That could be sort of like a bargaining chip. Well, you know what? If you sue me, then I'm going to sue your wife, Ashley, for insinuating that I assaulted her friend. You know, that was a huge situation where Ashley was a big part of saying her friend, I forgot her friend's name, Cookie Monster. I'm not trying to body shame. It was on the show. That's what Candiace called her, like the Cookie Monster or whatever it was. You know, she was caught lying through her teeth. You know, like, or she could also say she was going to sue Giselle, but I guess why would Giselle care? You know, or why would Ashley and Michael drop their suit if she's suing Giselle? Because what I actually got from the show with the whole Cookie Monster situation and whether or not Chris was allegedly touching her butt, which clearly was a lie, you know, shout out to production. But the way I saw that went down was I didn't think that Ashley was saying that Chris Bassett was touching or assaulting or touching the butt of the friend. It seemed that's the way Giselle interpreted it. And then she went back and repeated it. Because if you go back and watch the episode, Ashley does this like little motion, but she was motioning like he was coming closer to her at the bar. She never said that he touched her inappropriately. Then Giselle gets on the Sprinter van when Robin's there having her little temper tantrum and is like, oh, Chris is touching booties, he's touching butts. And she's like, what? Yeah. And then, of course, Messy Mia is repeating that situation and repeating it and repeating it. And when they did the little scene with the confessionals of all the girls repeating it, but they seemed that they were repeating it because that's what Giselle said. But that's not what Ashley said. She kind of motioned that he was scooting closer and did this weird like hand gesture. But she never said that he touched. She was like, you know, he kind of and he kind of But it was Giselle who said it. Yes, I blame Giselle for everything because she's the worst. But this is what I think as well, okay? So that could be interesting. You know, does Chris have a case against Giselle and Ashley for the accusations that he faced, which clearly were untrue? So that's another thing to think about. I wanted to give a shout out to Miss Bernice. She brings up a very good point. She says, and thank you for being a channel member, Miss Bernice. I appreciate that. She goes, didn't you see the joy in Ashley's face when she said that and when Candiace left the table? Yes, 100%. But you said something else that I really wanted. Here it is. Here it is. Thank you, Miss Bernice. She says, didn't a man confess that he was Michael's boy toy at BravoCon when they had the open forum for fans? Yes. Yes, that did happen. There was a man who said he was having sex with or had sex with Michael Darby. And he was sort of dismissed as weird, crazy, fanatical fan. But yes, that did happen, right? Maybe Michael's going to sue him next for defamation, but that's a really good point. Shout out to Miss Bernice, and thank you so much for being a channel member. Now, I found another article, and this is from page 6. It's going to repeat some of the stuff we already know, but that's okay. But it does a little bit of deeper dive into the legalities of it. So I did want to bring it up, okay? So it says the Real Housewives of Potomac alum Michael Darby is suing Candiace Dillard. Ashley Darby's estranged husband filed a defamation lawsuit against Dillard after she claimed he performed oral sex on a man. TMZ reported Thursday, citing court docs. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more into the stuff. In a November 22 episode of the Bravo reality show, Dillard, 36, alleged that Michael, 63, likes to leave Ashley and go to a man named blank house and suck his blank. She also claimed that he pays for sex. In his suit, Michael reportedly said he sent Dillard a cease and desist letter earlier this year, but she has yet to retract her story. So that's more of information about that. So he did send her a cease and desist, and she refused to retract her story. So now I understand why he's actually moving forward with the lawsuit, because it's like, I gave you a chance to retract your story, and you didn't. So now I'm going to go after you for a $2 million lawsuit. Now, this is the thing. Candiace has grown on me this season. Like, she really has. I'm still not a fan of Candiace, but I felt that she had done a lot of work. I felt that she really matured. I thought that she had grown up. I thought that, she still could read and shade, but they weren't as all the way down to hell evil. In this particular situation, I think Candiace is wrong. Regardless if this is true or not, I don't think she needed to put that out there, if that makes sense. I don't know. We'll talk about that. We'll noodle on it. But then you could also play devil's advocate. Ashley was also trying to talk about her husband, Chris, right? And saying what he was doing was inappropriate. So it's like, if you're coming after my husband, saying my husband is cheating on me, saying he's being inappropriate with other women, well, let's talk about the rumor about what your husband is doing, right? It's always been this sort of tit for tat game, this big tit for tat game. The reason why I think she should have retracted the story is because I don't think anybody wants to face a $2 million lawsuit. I don't care who you are. That's scary. At least to me, it's scary. But let's keep going. The real estate executive is seeking $2 million in damages, according to the outlet. Notably, courts have ruled in the past that describing someone as gay is not defamatory, which I agree with. I don't think that describing somebody as gay should be defamatory. However, I don't think that is what is defamatory in what she said, because there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you're gay, you're gay. That's fine. Love is love. You are who you are. So I agree that being gay is not defamatory. But what Candiace said was that he was eliciting sex for pay. That he was going to a male prostitute and paying for oral sex. Last time I checked, isn't that still a crime? Unfortunately. I'm very liberal. I think that sex work should be legalized, and we should protect people who that's their chosen profession. If they are a chosen sex worker, we should protect them, but that's a whole nother conversation. All right, let's keep going. Dun, 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 dun. Page 6 has reached out to Dillard's rep for comment. Dillard's strained relationships with both Michael and his estranged wife have been portrayed on rhop over the years. Most recently, Ashley, 34, accused the Drive-Back singer's husband, Chris Bassett, of flirting with her friend, Deborah Williams, and sending inappropriate messages online. When January footage contradicted everything Ashley said in the November 22 episode, she told Watch What Happens Live viewers that she was in a difficult spot. Ashley explained that while she knows Williams to be truthful, she needs to have a discussion with her pal. Basically, Ashley needs to be like, yo, I thought the lies you told me we could pass off as the truth. Now I got to figure out how to get out of this mess. Because I don't think for 1 second Ashley thought what Deborah Cookie Monster was telling her was the truth. I think they got together. They took what was the truth. They distorted it into something salacious for a storyline and for some get back. I don't think Ashley is innocent. I don't think her friend Cookie Monster came to her and was like, oh my God, I felt so violated by Chris Bassett. I can't believe it. And Ashley was like, oh my God, clutch my pearls. I can't imagine that. No, they got together and they plotted and they planned, and then they got caught out. And now Ashley's trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. Ashley, we see you. You're messy as hell. You're messy as hell. So Candiace, if I was you, I would either just retract the story. Like me personally, all right, you guys know I love to pretend like I'm a lawyer and give advice. I'm not a lawyer. But me personally, if I were Candiace at this point, I would just retract the story. But that's because I really value peace and calm. I don't like chaos. I don't like conflict. I don't like drama. And I like to take the road that is the most peaceful. I would rather just say, you know what? It was a rumor I heard. I'm sorry for spreading a rumor. That's what I would say. And I would just let it go. Because there comes a point where your ego is going to write a check that your bank account and your butt cannot cash. And I feel like that's what's going on here. Because Michael, as we know, he has a lot of money and he has really good lawyers and he's really slick. That's why Ashley got nothing in the prenup. He's really slick and he's really smart and he's really savvy and he has a lot of good lawyers. And as we know in our legal system, it's not always the quote truth that prevails. It's who has the best story, who has the best lawyers, who has the most money. You know? If I were her, I would choose peace over ego. Because right now it's just a pissing match. It's a pissing match between Ashley and Candiace. That's really what it is. It's a pissing match. But if I was faced with a $2 million case, I would choose peace. Let it go. It wasn't like he jumped out the gate and was like $2 million lawsuit. He gave you a chance to retract it and you didn't. And to be honest, unless she has photos, unless she has videos, she could lose. Because this alleged male prostitute, who says he's willing to go on the stand and tell his story about Michael? When who has more money to pay him off, if this is true or not? I'm not saying this is true. Michael Darby, do not come after me. I'm not defaming you. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just giving commentary about what is going on in the show and on social media and on media outlets. So I am not saying this is true, Michael Darby. Don't come after me. Okay? There's a lot to go into that. And, you know, I do think the article made a good point where they were saying, you know, the legal system has previously said calling someone gay isn't defamatory, but saying that somebody pays for sex is. It still is. It takes down senators. It takes down congressmen. It takes down politicians and judges. It takes down teachers, everyday people. In our society, saying that somebody pays for sex in any context, gay, straight, bi, whatever you want to do, that is the defamatory part. Oof, girl, you better have some real proof. You better have some real proof, Ashley. I mean, Candiace. But for me, I would be like, I repeated a rumor and I'm so sorry. And I would just let the case go away. It's not that deep. It's really not. Okay, let's keep going. Deborah maintains that there were some things that were not lining up, she said at the time. As for Bassett, the chef, 44, denied flirting in a tweet. I would just like to again thank the Real Housewives of Potomac production and the team in the editing room for continuing to show the lies these women continue to tell about me, he wrote. I agree. Shout out to production. Well, Ashley subsequently told Fox 5 DC that her friendship with Dillard is a work in progress. Dillard called her castmate a flop in December of 2020. Dillard accused Ashley of taking marching orders from Giselle Bryant, which I agree. I think that Giselle was the HBIC when they all got together. And by all, I mean Giselle, Ashley, and Robin. I think the three of them got together to decide who they were going to target. I don't think Karen was a part of it. Obviously, Wendy wasn't. And they don't actually like Mia, so she wasn't a part of it. Messy Mia just joined on the bandwagon because she's thirsty as hell and is a really wackadoo pick-me. But I don't think she was actually a part of the planning. She just jumped in because she's that thirsty. But I think the people who planned it, even Robin, because I think her coming to Chris's, quote, defense, I even think that was a part of the scheme. I think they all got together. Anyway, let's keep going. And don't forget, they were trying to ice Wendy out. So were they trying to ice Wendy out? I know we're talking about Candiace, but I'm talking about strategy right now. If they all got together and wanted to ice Wendy out, was this Ashley's way of trying to get her Cookie Monster friend in? You know, sort of like a Kyle situation. Well, Kyle was trying to go after Crystal because she wanted to get boring Teddy back on. You know what I mean? How they'll bring on a friend, give them a bigger friend of role than they actually deserve while they're trying to X somebody else out. The following month, Dillard told Andy Cohen that Ashley needs to, quote, shut the bleep up. Dun, 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 dun. Oof, 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 oof. But I want to know what you guys think. You know, before we move on to our next two stories, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. You know, are you like me and are you like our candy canes and you're like the whole situation was planned from jump? Robin, Giselle, and Ashley got together. They said who they were going to target, and they made up all the lies they wanted to tell. That's what I think happened. What do you think about Michael Darby, you know, moving forward with his threat with the cease and desist? If you don't cease and desist, I'll sue you. Candiace clearly did not cease and desist and retract her story, and so he sued her. What do you think about that? Do you think Michael is right to sue Candiace? Do you think Candiace is right to, as of at least now, she has not taken back the story? Do you think that's right? Me, personally, I would have been retracted the story. If I were her, I would have been retracted it because I don't need drama in my life. I pick the most peaceful road. You know, put your ego aside. Do you want to battle a $2 million lawsuit in court because you want to win a pissing contest with Ashley? Or do you want to keep that money and keep your peace and focus on, you know, your IVF journey and all that stuff and keep your money for your shows and all of this, that, and the third? Do you think that Chris should countersue? You know, if Michael Darby is suing people for defamation, I'm pretty sure Chris Bassett could sue some people. He could sue Cookie Monster, Ashley, and Giselle at the minimum. I'm giving Robin a break on this one because her job in the plot at least got her a get out of jail free card on this one, right? Do you think Chris should countersue, or do you think he should just let it be enough that the collective consciousness is on his side and they know that what they were saying was a lie and was wrong? Should that vindication be enough, or do you think he should sue? Put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a key is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. Definitely join our newsletters, you guys. It is free, and I send you guys some really great self-care and self-love and just amazing stuff. Like, if I do say so myself, it's a really good newsletter. So you should definitely get it. It's for free. All right. So with that, let's move on to our next story. All right. So Juan and Robin are back in the headlines